In April of 2019, this is the report of the CNC for our chapters, or the Care and Compassion Special Committee. The members of the committee are Joni Bennett, past Grand Matron; Susie Baker, past Matron; Michael Donham, past Grand Patron; Fran Crow, past Grand Patron; Carol Luther, past Grand Matron; and Sue Andreessen, past Grand Matron, and myself. In April of 2019, worthy Grand Matron Candy Martin shared some of the stresses and concerns she faced after recent consolidations during her year as worthy Grand Matron. Consolidations are not necessarily made in heaven, nor are they easily consummated. It's a mating dance, and not everyone wants to mate. A worthy Grand Matron and the Grand Secretary do their best to give the chapters considering consolidation the information they need to proceed or reconsider. During the conversation with several interested sisters, the question raised was, could we be doing more to assist our chapters before they get to the point of meeting with the worthy Grand Matron and the Grand Secretary? The Grand Chapter policy of non-interference in chapter business is traditional and positive. However, as our membership ages and our chapters have fewer active members, the question was raised, are we leaving our chapters to fend for themselves in assessing all the options available to them? Could some past or personal experiences shared with the chapter trying to make the best decisions for their members in situations be helpful? Also, the district and supervisors often note in their reports following their schools of instruction that a chapter is struggling. We have a Charters and Dispensations Committee which, after notice from the worthy Grand Matron, contacts the chapter who has not registered credentials for 2 years. More questions. What happens between the time the supervisor notes a concern, often expressed by the chapter officers, and the time the chapter is contacted by the Dispensations and Charters Committee? Should we be asking those struggling chapters what we can do to help? Without interfering, can we be offering a shoulder to lean on, someone to talk to who cares, or someone just to listen to what's happening? During that initial discussion in April of 2019, those present and engaged were all compassionate past Grand Matrons, and the consensus was we should be doing something to help our sisters and brothers. I offered to contact Associate Grand Matron Sister Karen Birdsall to see if a special committee for the purpose of reaching out to, listening to, and responding with fraternal love to the needs of the chapters might be established. Such a committee would provide assistance to meet the chapter's concerns and to offer options for consideration prior to following the law considering consolidations. Other responses to matters affecting the chapters might also be established. Sister Karen talked with Associate Grand Patron Brother Bruce Baker, and they were very interested and willing to establish a special committee to help Grand Chapter be more proactive in helping their struggling chapters. The Caring and Compassion Committee, better known as the CNC Committee, was born. 7 committee members were appointed in May of 2019, and the committee met first at the worthy Grand Patron reception in 2019. We developed a survey emailed to each chapter asking for an assessment of how they saw the condition of their chapter and the needs they felt they would like help to address. And in case you're saying, our chapter didn't get that, it did go to the worthy matrons, and she had the option of sharing it with the chapter, getting help, or simply answering herself. We were presuming how chapters were doing, but maybe they didn't see it that way. So that was the point of the survey. We met at the all-committee meeting in October of 2019, and we were beginning to develop a mission statement and more guidelines, definitions, and goals. Generally, this committee, we are a shoulder to lean on, a sounding board, or someone to offer ideas and information to struggling chapters, if they want it. Committee members were available to travel to the chapter meetings if requested to do so. We offered to work one-on-one with chapters to establish a rapport and trust in a compassionate and loving relationship. Our task was not to fix their problems, but to help chapters work through the process and consider options in order to help relieve stress and worry. Reports should be made to the worthy grand matron, worthy grand patron, and shared with the advancing line so that everyone is kept in touch with the chapters and the sisters and brothers who are trying to do the best they can for their chapters and their members. If needed, we could explore or support grand chapter legislation, which would give our members more options to remain vital and caring entities in their communities. Our primary goal to start was to be helping hands to meet the needs of the sisters and brothers. Then, COVID hit. Chapter meetings were canceled, and there was little we could do. In May and June of 2020, we attempted to make wellness calls and contacts, leaving messages if necessary with every worthy matron in Nebraska. We sent holiday greetings to each worthy matron or chapter in December of 2020. Due to COVID, the committee was unable to complete planning or reach its full potential. I have discussed with Sister Dottie Arndt about the feasibility of reappointing the committee for a prior year, or for another year. And with that, if anyone wants to know about the survey results, basically people were just pretty honest, and most of you think you're doing okay, but you need help, or you'd like help, or you'd just like somebody to listen. And that's the point of this. We hope to get reestablished, but if you need someone, if you need somebody, come and talk to us, just invite us to a meeting, and we'll come and just chat and do what we can. But with that, I respectfully submit this report. Betty Garwood, past Grand Matron Chairman.